Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope you're keeping well. It's Liverpool versus Tottenham then this weekend at Anfield. And for Tottenham, it's not very good right now. 4 defeats in a row for Igor Tudor. I'd argue that any man or woman could do better than him. But of course, he's inheriting a difficult situation. He's not the main problem. I believe that ENIC, the owners, and the board are. I think you've got owners that are utterly unambitious and a board that are utterly incompetent. That's my view. Having said that, Tudor's come in and you've got a falling tower or a falling building, just increase the rate of falling, or a sinking ship is just put that acceleration down. That's my honest view. So I think it'd be crazy as Spurs fans to say you're confident or looking forward to this game. 13 players out as well, potentially, with Tudor delivering the latest team news, and that is that both Romero and Paulinho are out. They're concussed after banging heads together in the last game. Van der Ven, of course, out suspended. Basuma's got a problem. Gallagher's got fever, but they're hoping that he is okay. So that's all the latest. So not good at all. And we've lost 3 or 4 midfielders from the last game already. So not good at all for Tottenham. Yeah, of course, there's Paulinho and Basuma. It's just not ideal at all for Tottenham, and especially the way that Tudor plays with the back five as well. We've got 3 centre backs available, so be square pegs in round holes once again. This guy is married to this back three or back five, whatever you want to call it. It's really, isn't it, a back five? His defensive manager that we are talking about. But Liverpool, they'll be looking for a response to their defeat to Galatasaray. They look better in 2026, but only just about. In reality, massive fall off last year. They walked the title last year. They spent big in the summer, and they've still fallen off a clip. This is at Anfield, 4:30 p.m. game. It's a big weekend, this, by the way, in the relegation battle. It's a big one as well for the title race and the top four race. A lot of huge games. Tottenham have the eyes on, for example, West Ham, who take on Man City. That's a big one. It's a tough game there. So, yeah, a lot of eyes across this weekend because we find out a lot. We found out an awful lot with Arsenal's game as well against Everton, West Ham City. We would know a lot more, let's just say, when this weekend is done. But at the time of recording, no game has been underway. Let's get into it then. This would be my team. I'd start for Corey in goal, and I'll read it all out and talk you through it. Spence right back, Sousa left back, Danzo and Dragusin as the centre backs. I'd have Porro is a right midfielder in what is a 4-4-2 that I would play. Xavi Simons on the left, Gray and Sarr in the middle of the park, and Richarlison and Solanke up top. And let me just start by saying this is far from ideal, and I don't really like the look of this team. It's a case of juggling and balancing what we've got. I'd much rather see this than players playing in a complete different position. I recognise that players still aren't in their natural position. Kinski fall for him, really do. Hope he does come back stronger. I personally don't think he'll play again for Tottenham, even despite his positive message on Instagram, thanking people for the messages, saying he can come back stronger, etc., which is good to see from him. But yeah, that's on Tudor for me. I blame him for starting him in that situation, then not taking any, or very little, accountability after the game as well, and not acknowledging him. I'm so angry with Tudor in many ways. If we go down, I'll blame him more than Frank. I know he's been here less time than Frank, but we've got 10 times worse. That's the reality. Of course, blame the owners and the board even more, but on this team, I would go with Vicario. He come in and made, done well. Ultimately, against Atletico, only conceded 1 and made a few good saves along the way. Well, the defence were limited for options, if we're being honest about it. Really difficult to see what we can do there. And Gray probably is going to play in numerous positions. And Tudor's hinted that Gray will go into that back line. And he said he would just cover probably a new position or cover a position that's not his, is what he hinted towards. But I'll go with Sousa and Spence, start them in their natural positions, and Dancer and Dragson. Yeah, good job we've got them both available. Of course, it's you want Van der Ven and Romero in there, but for Romero with concussion, because Premier League rules probably more than anything, and also Dragusin, and the Dragusin take it back. Van der Ven is suspended, so Dragusin will come in, what I meant to say. And look, Porro and Xavi aren't in their ideal positions at all. Far from ideal. I'd love Xavi in the 10, but we just don't think we can take that risk right now against Liverpool. In this formation, I believe that we should be having a go, hence why I've gone with 2 strikers, but also let's be real about it. You can't be putting Xavi Simons in there in that number 10 role because we haven't got any wingers. So you've got to have non-wingers occupy winger positions. And Porro, for me, he's played as a right midfielder. He's also played as a right winger and he's been good at it. I'd rather him further forward than Spence, but either way, they can swap. They can interchange. That's the beauty of it. Sarr and Gray midfield, very limited for options. Basuma would likely out. Paulini is definitely out. Midfield options shrink dramatically. Then Richarlison and Solanke up top. They're our most informed 2 out of the 3, including Kodo Mwani. Richarlison nearly scored, should have, if we were being honest, in the last game in that defeat against Atletico. Solanke come on and made a difference, and his numbers are very good. Although he's a frustrating player at times, he could be so much better. So that would be my team. And my approach would be, yes, defend, but also this Liverpool team's not the same. So I would be brave to dare is to do. And at the moment, under Tudor, it's to dare is a poo, or to dare is not to do under Tudor. And we just have to have a go, ultimately. You play to our strength. We can't defend for toffee, so have a go. And this formation, for me, would allow balls in the box. Porro, Simons, Sousa, Spence, all delivering balls in the box, and 2 strikers to attack them. But this is what I think Tudor will go with. I think you stick with his back 3/back 5. I think he'll go with a 3-4-3. That's what I think you do. I think you go back with the Vicario in goal. I think it's inevitable. I think you go Danso, Dragusin, and Porro in midfield. I'm gonna be optimistic and say he starts Gray in midfield, but if you listen to his press conference, I think it sounds like he's not going to play him there. But I'm trying to be optimistic. Gray, Pessar, and then I go with Spence and Sousa as a fullback. That's what I think Tudor will go with. I do actually think, to be fair to him, he'll start the fullbacks in the right position. But I think it's start Colin Morney at right wing, Richarlison at the left wing, just about over Tell, I think. Going to go with Slanky down the middle. I think he likes Mwani, so try and fit in the team anywhere we can. Crazy situation. Not one fit winger at Tottenham because Tell says himself, I'm a striker. If you count him a winger or not, we still only got one either way. So that's what I think Tudor will go with, married to the back three. And ultimately, we look awful defensively. So one defender's clearly not helping. So why not use that player to our advantage, sticking someone in midfield, or more importantly, sticking someone in attack? That's what I've done with my formation. But hey ho, I'm not manager. I'm sure Tudor does know more than me, but I don't know how much he does know. Score prediction. Listen, I pride myself in honesty. Unapologetically too. And I'd be lying to you if I sat here and said I think we're going to get a result. My prediction is we lose badly and Tudor goes out the door. I don't know why I haven't done it before this game. I think it's criminal that he's taking charge of this game because clearly he's come in as a non-motivator. He's coming in as an aggressor. He's coming as a shouter. And ultimately, we don't need that. And we're linked to Roberto De Zerbi. Let me just very quickly say that's the same guy that's defended Mason Greenwood, and Mason Greenwood said it was the worst day of his life when De Zerbi left. So I don't get too much into that. Of course, we've got to focus on the football stuff. But do we really want someone like that at our football club on top of the toxicity and the divide, the chaos he'd bring? I mean, De Zerbi just going and shouting at everyone. Every week he has a rant and has a meltdown, really, in the media. We can't be having that. We need someone who's going to lift the players. That's not Tudor. That's not De Zerbi. And some of the names we've been linked to, though, that is them. I recognise nobody's going to necessarily want to come into Tottenham that's not affiliated with the club because of the risk of your CV of going down. Totally understand that. But people that love and breathe the club, whoever you think it should be, and this is not my opinion, I'm just suggesting names: Bradley King, Michael Dawson, Jermaine Defoe, Ryan Mason, these type of players, they will come in. I honestly believe. Harry Redknapp, of course, Tim Sherwood. It goes without saying. I'm not necessarily going to give my opinion, but I will say Tudor, no. De Zerbi, no. I think 5-1 Liverpool in this game. I really do. I worry about us defensively. I think if he's married to his back five, he could start 2 or 3 players at the centre back that aren't natural centre backs. I think we're in for a rough ride. Thank God I'm working in the first half. And I love my club. I like to be positive. You're going, Harry, where's this positivity gone? You know, you're a really positive person. You back every manager, but I watch football with my eyes and I don't like what I'm seeing. And I think we're going to lose badly. Just, I can't lie. A lot of people say, look at, Harry, you've been negative. I'm not going to watch you, not going to subscribe. But listen, guys, I can't lie to you. I don't have it in me. I don't do rage bait. I don't do clickbait. I say it how it is. I think we're all on the worst side in the league. That's my honest opinion. And I try to be positive about it, but let's not beat around the bush. Let's not sugarcoat it. We're bad, and I think we're going to lose 5-1. I shouldn't have to say this, but I'll say it in case it's clipped. Of course, I hope I'm wrong, and I want us to get a result. It's not the same Liverpool team of the past. Certainly not the same at Anfield. We need to go at them. If we can get the first goal, that'll be interesting. A massive come on, you Spurs.